What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome back to Impact Gaming Center. We are live and in living color with round number 2 of the modern 1K RCQ. Thank you all so much for joining us. We've got Vasilios on Gruul Breach and Ruby Storm being piloted by Richard. As we have the well, not brand new, but Devour of Destiny, going to start things off for Vasilios. Down to 19 goes Richard after the fetch. Let me update this live total, and we are off to the races, folks. Thank you all so much, though, for joining us. If you're watching on Twitch, we appreciate you. Make sure you follow. And if you're watching after the fact on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell icon. And, of course, set it to all. And if you're looking for Magic the Gathering cards or just TCG cards, TCGs, tabletop gaming stuff, hit up impactgamingcenter.gg. Let me zoom in a little bit. These guys are nice and tight on the battlefield. We've got a talisman for Vasilios and a ruby medallion for Richard in the early goings of this game. Both players are 1-0.
No. I tried to cut it. It's just right. Yep.
Alrighty, we have a Reckless Impulse, followed by Manamorphose. 3-4. How does Richard want to play this? Vasilios keeping track for him there. Play a Ral. Alrighty. Gonna roll now after the strike at Rich. Takes a point, I do believe, off of the strike at Rich, thanks to the Ral. And let's see the Ral. Go down to 16. Reckless Impulse. Oh, Past in Flames. That's probably going to do it. Vasilios sees the writing on the wall, and a quick and easy game one here for Richard. Wow, that was rather fast. Yeah, thank you. Hey, sometimes we got quick feature matches, but that's only game one. Of course, we got potentially 2 more here going into games 2 and potentially 3. But yes, thank you all so much for joining us here. And again, we are located at 49 Ludwig Drive in the fabulous Fairview Heights, Illinois. I'm Les Alex. Hey, I make content on the internet, so if you want to check that out, just search Les Alex, and I'm sure you'll find my Magic the Gathering content. But yeah, thank you all so much. Regional Championship qualifier, 1K, $1,000 cash in prizes here today. We've got 27, I believe, here for the tournament. So, yeah, these folks are battling it out for their share of $1,000. Of course, all the promos, and then, of course, the invite. This is a 1-slotter. So, yeah, but yeah, we're rocking and rolling here. We've got a ton more action. And, of course, we have pre-release coming up at 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. today for Dustmorn. Let's take a look, though, at these players' sideboards. For Vasilios, we have 1 Beseju who endures 2 Kozilek's returned, 2 Stonebrains. Stonebrains probably coming in. 4 Thought Knot Seers, 3 Trinisphere. Trinisphere definitely coming in. And 3 World Breaker. So I could see Stonebrain, Thought Knot Seer, maybe, or Stonebrain and Trinisphere, maybe Thought Knot Seer as well. For Ruby Storm, for Richard, we have 1 Meltdown. I can see that. 2 Silence, 4 Static Prison, 1 Abrade, 1 Grape Shot, 1 Underworld Breach, 1 Brotherhood's End, 1 Blood Moon, 1 Alchemist Gambit, 1 Empty the Warrens, and 1 Past in Flames. A lot of those one-ofs are going to be wish targets. So with that being said, I could see Static Prism. It definitely depends how Richard wants to play the game. If he wants to just go as fast as possible and try and kill Vasilios as quick as possible, then obviously, yeah, he might not bring that in. But if he's trying to play the control game, maybe the long game, he might bring those in. But let's kick it back down there. Both these players, at this point, I believe, St. Louis is a tight-knit community in terms of the competitive scene. So these players very familiar with each other, very cordial with each other. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. Vasilios going to keep. Richard's still trying to decide. And he will mulligan. So this is mulligan number 1. So which means he'll go to 6. That's why the dice is there. All right, Devour of Destiny, going to start things off before we get started here, pre-game effects. All right, Vasilios will start us off here. I think Vasilios put 2 Trinispheres in exile there off the Devour, but has another Trinisphere in hand. Trinisphere. Richard says yes, and Vasilios just passes right back. So now, if we had an advantage bar, it would be in Vasilios' favor for sure at this point. Trinisphere obviously makes it very, very difficult for Richard to do anything that he needs to do. But if Richard can get rid of this, we know that 2 of the other Trinispheres are in exile, so wouldn't have to worry about it. Thought Not Seer. Ral, Rin's Resolve, Reckless Impulse, Manamorphose, and Desperate Ritual, plus a Mountain. I would probably want to tag something that draws cards here. We'll see how Vasilios feels about that plan of action. He's going to take Ral. Not a bad choice for sure. Going to get exiled. Richard's going to play Heads Up. Carplusion Forest. Going to take 1 point of damage. Yeah. Vasilios says, JK. LOL, no, I won't.
So until your next turn, or play. I was wondering if this would make it.
Artist's Talent is the name of that card. Let's look that up. We have some technology. There it is for you folks. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may discard a card if you do draw a card. And you can level it up for 3 mana, and non-creature spells you control cast cost 1 less, and then at level 3,
I'm taking one.
if a source you control would be dealt non-combat damage to an opponent, a permanent, or a permanent and opponent controls, it deals that much, +2. So grape shots become extremely easy to kill. So Vasilios just plays Ancient Stirrings, plays land and passes. After he attacks, of course. Down to 14 goes Richard.
Ralph's flying. Ralph's on the move.
Gonna get a mountain. Gonna make red off of the Morphos. Gonna play Talisman and pass. Gonna return Devourer to hand. Grove of the Burn Willows in as the land for turn for Vasilios. There's Devour.
You think I know my own cards? Why did I do this?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 says Vasilios. Richard goes, it's 7 mana, right? Vasilios says, yeah, you'd think I know my cards.
Yeah, it's for you.
Richard down to 10. I love how chill these players are. Vasilios kind of in the tank here, thinking about what he wants to do here in his main phase 2. Stone Brain. Cracking Stone Brain.
The one white drop energy
Static Prison is going to be the named card for Stone Brain, and here it's going to appear on screen just like magic. Bada bing, bada boom. Kind of like a pre-surgical extraction of sorts. That was one of Richard's outs to the Trinisphere.
Weird reversal. Pass. And where's my stuff?
All right. Back to Richard. Richard is just going to pass back. Or maybe not. Maybe I misheard him. Okay, so we'll play Ral for 3 mana. Here's 7 mana. Here's Devour. Gonna take that Ral down. Gonna bash in for 4. Down to 6 goes Richard. And Richard gonna call it, yeah. That was pretty rough. Kind of the exact opposite of game number 1. There you have it. We're going to game 3. The best 2 words in competitive Magic, at least from the broadcast side. Game number 3. Yeah, this should be a pretty good one. Both these players are both pretty darn good. But yeah, thank you all so much. If you're watching on YouTube, let me know in the comments. Who are you rooting for? If you're watching here live on Twitch, let me know who you rooting for. You rooting for Vasilios on some Gruul Breach, or are you looking at Richard and rooting for the Ruby Storm? Alrighty.
Oh, what was your first hand? Oh, okay. There's a Desperate Ritual into Blood Moon turn 2. Oh, no, that's a hot one.
Vasilios, like, did you have a Desperate Ritual into Blood Moon on turn 2? Which was like, nah, I'd have kept that if talking about the hand that Richard mulliganed there last game.
I don't think we're not in a rush.
Yeah, it is important. So Vasilios said we're not in a rush, but they do not have a time extension in this round. Sometimes we're able to get the feature match started at the same time, which is the case this round. Sometimes we are not. So no time extension for feature match this time around. So Richard will be on the play, and we saw what happened last game when Richard was on the play. Last time Richard was on the play, just able to do a lot of shenanigans and win basically on turn. I think he won on turn 3. He is capable of winning on turn 2, but obviously you bring in the hate. Alrighty. Good luck to both players. Let's get this kicked off. Both players going to keep pregame. Devour of Destiny is revealed. And we do have 2 Trinispheres in hand for Vasilios. Alrighty, here we go. Kessig Wolfron. Haven't heard of that card in a long, long time. Stone Brain, the card that Vasilios kept on top. We're going to go Ancient Stirrings. Eldrazi Temple, the card that we want to put in our hand. And pass back to Richard. So Richard's gonna need to be able to win by turn 3 or else. Unfortunately for him, Vasilios has not 1, not 2, but 3 hate pieces in his hand, followed by a 1 ring. So all right, there's a mountain. All right, just to pass back to Vasilios. Not a good sign here for Richard. Trinisphere. Manamorphose in response. Desperate Ritual. Abrade it. Okay, there you go. That's one way to get it off the table for sure. Did have to burn some of his resources, obviously, but well worth it for that turn. But unfortunately for Richard, Vasilios does have another one in hand. Richard playing really close. His card's really close to the chest here, but Rin's Resolve. Yeah, it's not gonna pass into flames. Manamorphose, 2 great cards here, but unfortunately, Vasilios is probably just gonna slam this other Trinisphere. Yep. There is the second Trinisphere. And now Richard is seemingly missing land. And oh, wow, just past his turn. Yeah. Vasilios is in the driver's seat at this point, folks. You hate to see it go down this way. Players missing land drops, but here is the Thought Not Seer. Empty the Warren, seek the beast. Or questing beast, rather. Desperate Ritual, Manamorphose, and I'm going to take the beast. And there is the Stone Brain follow-up for Vasilios. Haymaker after Haymaker here for Vasilios. Pretty rough here for Richard. Certainly needs to draw a land for anything to happen. But now you're in that awkward position. Okay, he's going to shock in here. Strike it rich. Okay, get a mana for a future turn. Seems decent. Pass back. I was going to say Richard was in an awkward position where he needs to find a hate card plus mana. He was able to find some mana in the ways of land plus strike it rich, but now he needs to find a hate piece. Michael, spawning Michael. Just going to take down the... Whew. That's pretty good. Sacred Foundry kicks a bucket thanks to the Sowing Myco spawn. Get an Eldrazi Temple. And the Stone Brain. I didn't quite hear what he named, but we'll find out here in a second. Probably, yeah. Wow. My gosh. Yep, that's... And same thing. Same game plan here as last game for Vasilios. Playing early Transfer, backed up by a Thought Not Seer and Bash Face. And Richard just passing back. Gonna attack. And Richard gonna scoop it up. There you have it. There's a handshake. Vasilios gonna take down Richard in 3 games. Hey, stay around if you're watching live. We've got 3 more rounds of Swiss, followed by some top 8 action. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell icon, set it to all. I'm Les Alex. I make Magic the Gathering content. You can go check me out on YouTube. My links and stuff will be down below. And if you're shopping for Magic the Gathering or TCG or just, you know, tabletop gaming stuff, impactgamingcenter.gg. That's where you can find it. Thank you all so much. We've got, like I said, 3 more rounds of Swiss. If you're watching live, stick around, stick around. We appreciate y'all. And until the next round or the next video, I've been Les Alex, and I will catch you all on the flippy flop. Adios.